Hi everybody, welcome to my new channel. I will be doing mathematics from grade 10 to grade 12 on all different levels, reteaching and reinforcing and moving into more difficult examples for those of you who need it. And I hope that you will find something very beneficial from what we are about to do. Let's get started. We're going to do some mixed examples, trigonometry. The first question is prove the left equals the right, so it is an identity. So it will be 2 sine 5a cos 4a, and the 9a is going to break down into sine 5a plus 4a, or you could do 4a plus 5a. Right, so that's going to give us 2 sine 5a cos 4a minus sine 5a cos 4a plus cos 5a sine 4a. Right, so we are now going to distribute this minus into the bracket. So it's going to be 2 sine 5a cos 4a minus sine 5a cos 4a minus cos 5a sine 4a. Right, and then as usual with these kind of very wide, long questions, we have got like terms that we can add together. So 2 sine 5 cos 4 minus sine 5 cos 4 is 1 sine 5a cos 4a, and then bring that down minus cos 5a sine 4a. Right, so this is reduced down to that, and then we have got the pattern. Sine 5a cos 4a minus cos 5a sine 4a is this pattern over here, and that is sine 5a minus 4a, and that is sine a, which means that the left hand side balances with the right hand side. So that's an identity. Right, the next question is a non-calculator question. Sine squared 1 plus sine squared 2 plus sine squared 88 plus sine squared 89. You will notice, I hope, that 1 and 89 add up to 90, and 2 and 88 add up to 90. So I am going to use co-functions. So I'm going to leave the first two, sine squared 1 plus sine squared 2, and then I'm going to change sine squared of 88 into cos squared 2 and sine squared of 89 into cos squared of 1. I will then be able to link those together and then link those together, because sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is 1. So sine squared 1 plus cos squared 1 is 1. Sine squared 2 plus cos squared 2 is 1. So my final answer is 2. Right, so this follows exactly the same idea. There's just one or two other things that we have to look at. So again, I can see a 1 and an 89 and a 2 and an 88. So what I'm going to do is keep the first half and change the second half into cofunctions. So it will be sine squared 1 plus sine squared 2 plus sine squared 3, and then plus cofunction cos squared 3 plus cos squared 2 plus cos squared 1. Right, with lots in between, too many for us to do on the calculator. It's also a non-calculator question. So we've got to find how many terms there are and find the middle term. So let's have a look at the middle term. In the middle, I am going to have 1 plus 89 is 90, divided by 2 is 45. So my middle term will be sine squared 45. It could also be the cofunction cos squared 45. They are the same. So I'm not going to make too much of a mess here, but again, it will be the first and the last gives me 1. And the second last give me another 1. And the third last give me another 1. And then we have got sine squared of 45 degrees in the middle. Right, how many ones are there? Well, before sine of 45, there must be 44 terms. So it's going to be 44 lots of ones, plus sine squared of 45 is root 2 on 2. So we left with 44 plus a half, which is 44 and a half, or 44.5. Right, so that one is a little bit on steroids. I used the idea of the median. If you've got an odd number of terms, the middle term will land on a particular value, not between two that you average out. So that just brings a little bit of your data into the question. Right, number 4. If sine of 12 degrees is m plus and cos of 13 degrees is n, find in terms of m and n. First one, cos of 24. Well, 24 is double 12, so I'm going to the cos double angle, and I'm going to use the one that gets me to the 12. Right, so it's going to be cos of 24 is equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared 12. Why did I use that one? Because I wanted to go from cos to sine. So that's why I went from the double cos to the single sine, which is then 1 minus 2m squared. Right, the second question, sine of 25. Sine of 25 degrees. Sine of 25, well, 25 is 12 and plus 13, so I'm going to use compound angles. That is sine of 12 plus 13 degrees, which expands to sine of 12 cos of 13 plus cos of 12 sine of 13. Right, so sine of 12 I know is m, and cos of 13 is n, and now we've hit a snag. Right, so we are now going to do Pythagoras. Put that over 1. Let's do it in red. Put it over 1 and put in 12 degrees, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. And if you do Pythagoras, you'll find your x value is the square root of 1 minus m squared. Right, and then doing n, put that over 1. Cos is x on r. This is 13 degrees, and that is the square root of 1 minus n squared. Right, so let's go and put that into our question. Cos of 12 is going to be the square root of 1 minus m squared over 1. We don't need to worry about it being over 1. And then the sine of 13 is y on r, or opposite over hypotenuse, and that would also be over 1, so we're not going to worry about it. Right, I would go one step further and say that is mn times by, not times by, plus, and then maybe put it all under 1 square root, because that is allowed, and it will then be 1 minus m squared, 1 minus n squared, and that doesn't go any further. Right, and the last one, let's give it a triple star, because most pupils don't know how to do it, or if they do know, they forget very quickly. Right, cos of 6 comma 5, I'm going to do the whole thing in red. Cos of 6 comma 5 is a half angle, and a half angle has to use one of these two here. Don't try and do anything else, you'll get stuck. Right, so I'm going to say cos of 6 comma 5 in here will give me cos of 13 in here, because 6 comma 5 is half of 13. Right, so we're going to say cos of 13 is equal to 2 cos squared of 6 comma 5 minus 1. Right, and cos of 13 is n, and I'm going to move the 1, so it's going to be n plus 1 is 2 cos squared of 6 comma 5. I'm going to move the 2, so it's going to be n plus 1 on 2 is equal to cos squared of 6 comma 5. And then it's going to give us the square root of n plus 1 on 2 equals cos of 6 comma 5. Two things, don't forget your degree signs, and second, we do not put a plus minus, because cos of 6 comma 5 is a first quadrant angle, so it won't pick up a minus. Right, I hope you've learned something from this, and we will see you at the next video. That's it, and I hope you found this lesson very helpful. Please subscribe to get regular updates on future videos, and leave a like and a comment. And if there's something in particular you'd like me to cover, please let me know. And please share with anybody out there who you think would find these lessons beneficial.